Final wing show of the year at Oswego Speedway is now in the books, and what a show it was. Had to wait till Sunday to get it in as weather on Saturday. They almost got it. They had just done the draw and gone back to the trailers to get in the car and run first, and then it opened up, and it didn't just open up at Oswego. It really opened up. If you saw some of the pictures of the corners, there were lakes at both ends of the Speedway. Fortunately, they didn't make it into the infield. So on Sunday, they ran the 50-lapper, and the guy who won it with me is on the phone right now. So let's head up to Windham, Maine. Mike Ordway Jr. led every lap, I believe. First of all, how we doing, Mike?
Good. How are you, Doug?
Good. It wasn't every lap, but you did lead every lap, right?
It was, yep.
Okay, got close there, though. Let's go right to that moment. You're out in front, cruising. I watched it on Flow Racing, so it looked like really nobody challenged you. Then all of a sudden, there's a lap car in turn 3, and you didn't just see a lap car, you saw somebody else.
Yeah, it's, I was fortunate enough to redraw the pole, and, it was kind of just out front. Michael Muldoon started outside of me, or on the second restart, started outside of me, and he actually almost cleared me getting into turn 1 on the restart. Was fortunate enough to stay with him, and then was kind of just biding my time. Nobody had really pressured me, so I was trying to save what I could in case someone got to me at the end, and I caught a lap car just at the end of the back straightaway, and I was trying to, figure out, set up what he was going to do. And I knew that I could get him off of turn 4, or in 3 and 4, but I thought the safer move would be to wait until the front straightaway. So I was kind of setting him up, and then my brother-in-law, Trent Stevens, drove in outside of both of us and was actually in the picture he was actually ahead of me at one point, but we were fortunate enough to get a good run on the bottom and take him 3 wide and keep the lead. So,
as I looked at it, because I'd heard about this before I watched it, I'd heard there was one moment when he did get outside you. How close was it coming through 3 and 4 with the 3 of you guys?
It was pretty close. Like I said, the smarter, safer move would have been for me to wait until we were on the front straightaway, but at the time it wasn't. That wasn't an option if we wanted to keep the lead. But fortunately, Trent's obviously raced for a long time, and Timmy Snyder, that was driving the other car that was in the middle of us, he's raced for a long time. So everybody, the 3 of us had been in that situation prior, so it worked out.
Now, we were joking with you a little bit before. Were you a little more comfortable that it was your brother-in-law, or were you a little more nervous that it was Trent on the outside?
Well, I know my wife wouldn't have been happy if he beat me, and I know that my sister wouldn't have been happy if we both wrecked. So we, at that point, I think everybody out there is just another driver, and that's how we kind of got to look at it.
Mm-hmm. No, not surprised, though, when you look back at it, because I could see him. He was behind you pretty much the whole rest of the race at that point. So he had to take a chance. Here's the lap car. Here's his opportunity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But your sister would have been the one, I think, who would have been the most upset by the whole thing had it not worked out, right? Because if you guys took each other out, right, you would have heard it. We both would have heard it from her, right?
Yeah, she probably wouldn't have been too impressed.
And I would think, too, the other thing I'm thinking about, too, is Tim Snyder. Here he is. Oh, okay, here comes a lap car. And, whoa, you've been that guy in that position at times, too, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's tough in ISMA because they don't use the passing flag. Right. So until the lap car sees you, then, essentially they're out there racing for themselves. So it's, that adds one more element to it.
Yeah, I wonder who he saw first. Did you think he saw Trent first, or?
I have no idea.
Yeah, but that's just where you hold your breath going, oh, no, I don't want to be the guy who who gets into the leaders here, because that's just bad across the board. The other thought that I had, and, of course, once he got in front, it was, was it smooth sailing at that point for the rest of the race?
For the most part, there was one restart that was a little bit close, but, other than that, like I said, I knew how good our car was. We all know how important clean air is. So once I knew Trent was right with me, I kind of had to get up and go a little bit more than I wanted to, that early, but it all worked out.
Now, I've only seen these cars in person from the infield guys, so for me to watch this on Flow, and I asked you this before we hit the record button, are they as fast as they look on TV? Because I was just watching you guys. They had that camera in turn 3, and you guys would come out of turn 2, and I'm going, oh, my God, these things are so fast. Dude, are they as fast as they look?
Yeah, that place is pretty quick. It's that's certainly a fun place to race at. I enjoy going fast, so any track like that is a lot of fun.
Nice. 4th in the point standings right now. He is 45 behind Otto Siddeley, Mike McVetta, and Kyle Edwards. And boy, did Kyle Edwards have a bad break on that race at Oswego. Is it pretty much wide open between you guys at this point, do you think?
I would think so. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure how many points you get for each position or whatnot.
Yeah.
I never really pay attention to the points. Like I said, until you called me, I hadn't even looked. But I would say it's pretty open. Otto's car is obviously fast. Kyle Edwards has been really fast all year. Mike McVetta is always good. So it's we should be a little bit better. Like I had said to you, we broke leading at Jennerstown with 4 laps to go. Broke leading at Berlin on Friday night with 3 laps to go. Broke running second on the final lap of the last Oswego race. So we hadn't even really been looking at the points, just due to the DNFs that we had. But if there's any chance of us, winning it, we'll certainly try. Otto is obviously one of the best to ever do this. He's got 5 classics at Oswego and 9 Oswego championships and 2 ISMA championships. So his Otto has a very, very good maintenance program. They have very good equipment. He does a really good job maintaining the cars. So for him to have any issues, that would let us gain that many points is probably something you won't see, but anything can happen.
Yeah, his worst race was the first race, by the way, at Jennerstown. So I guess it's only fitting then that we finish at a track where ISMA and MSS have not been before at Evans Mills. How do we approach that?
Well, just take it like any other race. I've actually never even seen a picture of Evans Mills, but before we go there, we're going to run Classic at Oswego in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So after that, we'll start watching some videos of different races at Evans Mills and whatnot. I know. Well, I guess I only know one. I know Michael Muldoon won there in a 350 Super. I don't know if it was this year or last year. So he's got some track time there. His car's been really fast when he's been able to race with us. So he'll certainly be a guy to beat there. But, we'll just take it one race at a time and see what happens.
And in case you missed it, he did mention Classic. He will be there in 2 weeks without the wing, with the tail wing package up there as well. So as we look at Evans Mills, everything, like we said, pretty much wide open between 4 drivers at this point. So do we get a practice on Friday?
That I'm not sure of.
Okay, I'll have to look for that myself.
I'm not sure.
Obviously, we'll take it if we can get it, right?
I would think so. Whatever the car owner, Clyde Booth, wants to do. If we get one and he tells me to be there, I'll be there. If not, we'll be there Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get the most out of the practice that we can get. So, well, congratulations again. I hope you guys were able to catch this on Flow Racing. If you've never seen these cars, oh my gosh, they are really something, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to these guys about it. So maybe we'll chat 2 more times then, Mike. But congratulations, great job, and I really appreciate you making some time for me today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
Hit the subscribe, hit the likes, leave a comment if you want, but we're back, easing our way back into things here, trying to take it easy so we don't do too much. But again, another great race for ISMA and MSS as the series is really in the high gear right now.